We are back. Lenny Randle's Hot Corner on the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. I'm Ralph Tyko, and the star of the show is Lenny Randle. How are you this morning, Leonardo?
Buenos días, todo, gente, porque hoy, ahora yo tengo un varón con especial mujeres Latino Expo de college. We're putting college kids into school through the College Latin Expo, headed by Veronica. That's our special guest.
Veronica, welcome to the airwaves.
Gracias. Sí, les traigo mensajes desde Los Ángeles en el próximo cuarto anual Latino College Expo.
Ralph, that's taking place in Southern California and right near Ontario, California, and Montebello. Is it the Montebello today?
Yeah, actually, it takes place this Saturday, October 14th, at the Quiet Cannon Golf Course in Montebello.
Now, Ralph, you've never been to the College Expo in Oakland, the one we have at the Convention Center there in Oakland. And
no, I haven't.
Veronica, you got to be a guest and have your show come down. When is that one coming?
Oh, I'd love that. That would be my
privilege. We have the Black College Expo coming to Oakland on February 17th of next year, and it will be at the Marriott in downtown Oakland.
Terrific.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
I'd love to do my podcast from there.
Yeah, any high school students, juniors and seniors, make sure that they go to our website at thecollegeexpo.org and fill out an essay, free of charge essay, only 500 words, and you can win a scholarship. Very, very simple. And yeah, it's for every student in the northern area of San Francisco, Oakland. We pull as far north as Chico, and as far south as LA. So everyone still drives to the Bay Area for this event.
Well, Ralph, we do a camp.
Terrific. May I ask you, Veronica, how did you get started doing this? And how did you?
Well, actually, we have so many different events. The National College Resources Foundation was founded by Teresa Price 19 years ago, and it was her mission to make a difference and change the paradigm of what's going on in the educational world. So 19 years ago, she decided that the West Coast needed to learn about HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. So she created the very first event of a Black College Expo, and it brought in over 30,000 people in one day at one event. So moving forward from there, 19 years later, we now have the College Expo in 6 different states, I should say. I wish we had them in the country, but 6 different states across the country. And we have the Latino College Expo on its 4th annual expo this year in Los Angeles. We have a STEM Expo in Los Angeles, and it's also the 4th annual. We also have a Health and Fitness Sports Expo. So we've taken the education process to the next level to help the underserved and underrepresented students get a leg up on education. And it's not only strictly for the underserved and underrepresented, but it's for all students who, want to be able to take it to that next level, to make a difference, and to know that there is opportunities and resources for them. And that's what the National College Resources Foundation does.
Wow.
In a nutshell.
What a great cause. How did you meet up with Lenny?
Oh, my goodness. Well, Mr. Randle happens to be Teresa Price's brother. And when I saw Mr. Randle, my goodness, it was this ball of energy that was just so fun and outgoing. And we just started chatting in Espanol. And, it's history now.
Rafael, importante conocer diferente lenguaje, hermano. Importante.
That's right.
Rafael, ¿tú hablas español?
Rafael was Raul back in my high school Spanish days. And Rafael got like 19 in Spanish. I cannot learn languages. I am so horribly disabled, or whatever the word is, when it comes to learning languages. And
well, there's an app for that now.
Okay. But it's in Spanish. How would I get to it?
Translate it for you.
How would I get to it? It's in Spanish. That's like if you didn't know the meaning of the word dictionary.
No, listen.
How would you look stuff up?
No, it's fabulous. It's an app. You just talk in English to the app, and it translates it for you, and then it talks for you.
Oh, it's tell fabulous. You something. Lenny will attest just how wonderful that would have been for me. I was the Tufts representative, the baseball card representative, back in the 80s and 90s. And I got to meet a lot of Spanish people who didn't know what the hell I was saying. Scribble, Sucumbre, and I didn't know what they said, and we both missed out on each other. And I wish that app were available back then.
Back then, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
make a comeback.
One thing for sure. I think one thing for sure about Latinos, though, is if you have a smile and a hug and an embrace, the contact is made. So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Lenny wants me to make a comeback, but he doesn't know that I never was over the hill because there never was a hill. You can't be over.
You never will.
So what would I be coming back? I'd be the same thing. I wouldn't miss a beat, Lenny. There was nothing there.
Okay. Renaissance. Awesome. I call it Renaissance man.
Right. Renaissance. Call it Schmeckler man. That's what you can call me.
Schmeckler. Jehigan. The amazing thing about Ralph, in February, we can actually have a clinic and have you do your podcast while the expo is going on in Alameda.
I cannot wait. And we'll get it on local TV. We got some contacts locally, and that would be terrific.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic, because you're looking at a minimum of about 3,500 students that attend that event.
Well,
annually.
Nice.
Yeah.
And as usual, good cause. Lenny, I didn't know your sister was involved in this at all. Tell me about her. What drove her to this? She was the founder of it all. Holy, what a family, Lenny.
You want Veronica?
They are a fabulous family, that's for sure, and there's a lot of them. But
there's 300 of us.
That's right. When you put all the cousins together, shoot, they're worldwide. I'll tell you, Teresa Price is a game changer, and just to use the sports terms, she's been in the sports world also, and Lenny's going to talk about she's been a competitive individual all her life. And she's been in the entertainment industry. In the past, she's owned her own marketing company and still does. But she saw the need to expose the African-American students to the HBCUs, the historically black colleges and universities. Because those universities are only east of the Mississippi. There are no HBCUs in the West Coast, and there are over 100 of them. Therefore, about 25 years ago, she said, wait a minute, how come I didn't know about HBCUs? So she saw the need and made an event out of it. Since, 19 years ago, that's where we are today. But not only are we an event-driven company, the National College Resources Foundation, but she's taken it to the next level now, and we're actually in school districts and making, empowering students, be an underserved and underrepresented student who needs that little extra help. And this program is called The Movement, and it's a enrichment program, educational enrichment program in certain school districts across Los Angeles and San Diego now as well. So we have mentors, tutors in the classrooms, and we help the students to succeed, and we give them assistance in different academic genres and avenues, but at the same time help them with their college preparedness and, skill sets, even on an emotional level. Because we know, the one thing that we do know is that kids are not born stupid. They're not dumb. It's just, they've just been misguided. So we try to put them back on track and see, where they're from, what environment they've been in, and then just help them succeed and give them that hope, and have them believe in themselves. And that's the beauty of Teresa Price. She has this inner belief, and her whole staff does too, that a child can succeed. And if we just help them and we just give them that strength and that energy and that inner will and what I call the animo that one has within them to succeed, that's what we're about, and that's what she's been doing for the past 20 years. And it's been absolutely a fantastic ride. And it can only get better because it's from the heart.
My amazing thing, Ralph, is when you have 8 kids and you go to the principal's office and the principal sends you to the counselor's office, and my mom and dad would go and do an IEP, educational plan for kids' education, and they had an individual plan, not all 8. Everybody had a different focus. Some education, some sports, some wanted to be teachers, some wanted to be lawyers. Our family had different interests. So when mom would sit down with a counselor and a principal and the dean of students, she would go, okay, so what's your plan to help them get better? And they were ready for that question. Usually they attacked the parent. So my mom and dad were aggressive because they were around Italians, Spanish. She was in the fashion industry. The Latino family that adopted us, they put us in music, sports. We go to trips to Tijuana, to San Diego, to Puerto Vallarta, Culiacan. We traveled and we sang Latino and danced Latino, comida Latino. And it was like, what's the difference? We're all having the same issues, same problems, educational, because the counselors didn't have time. When you have 500 students, Ralph, think about it. 500 students per one counselor. There's only 5 or 10 kids going in the office a month. That's it. Mm-hmm. Parents don't come after school. They're working. They don't have time. They're between 4 and 8. The parents at home sleep on the freeway, in traffic, trying to find daycare, trying to find groceries. They don't have time to go to school.
Lenny, speaking of that, if they do find daycare, you get one child, you get 9 kids for one provider. So
right.
The kids aren't getting attention in daycare, and that's another thing. They don't get to go to school ready to learn, get to go to kindergarten with their hand up. They're acting out because they don't have any preschool, English, math. They can't answer questions, and they quickly fall behind. And it becomes a vicious cycle. I think if, and in the spirit of this show, I implore people to get together a bunch of lightly used children's books, put them in boxes, get neighborhood programs together to get all these boxes together, and take the books to the Head Start program in whatever city you live in, wherever you're listening. This too, get kids reading. Once kids start reading, the world is their oyster.
That's the key. Yeah, that's the key is to start them young reading, and and parents just need to find the time to do that, and it's some family member.
Unfortunately, the parents will never find the time, and that's not. So it becomes indicative on the social programs in the community, and we got to mention this. I got to mention how Trump is killing our society on every different level.
And that's where we need to take a look at that and say, okay, it doesn't stop there. What are we going to do to help that? If that's exactly what's happening, what are we going to do to make it different? How are we going to take that next step and not have to rely on what the president is doing? And that's where, NCRF, where we come in, we don't just sit back and say, oh, well, shoot, if that's happening, then we don't have any hope. No, we say, how are we going to embrace it? How are we going to make that difference? Let's Let's get together the communities and bring the,
every day is a new issue. Every day, if one has the energy to do what is necessary to advance their cause, they can't be advancing every cause out there. And unfortunately, every day it's something new. It's the ecology. One day it's the war effort here, it's the war thing there, it's the fake news there. So attention gets drawn on a daily basis. We can't get together and unite on the things that need being done because he's got us so split as a society, and then you have his crazy supporters who, it doesn't matter, I voted for him and I love him and whatever.
Let me give you a quick scenario, guys, just real quick. My dad was a longshoreman. I'm sure your guys' fathers worked. My dad was the president of my house, and my mom was vice president or president, depending on what day of the week. She had an attitude. While she was like that and they were like that, they go, these other people, Nixon, Reagan, and Ford, have nothing to do with me buying groceries. They have nothing to do with me putting gas in my car. So you guys forget the news. Don't watch TV. You can watch Ed Sullivan and Howdy Doody. The rest of that stuff doesn't matter. What goes on in this house, I'm going to put food on the table. Don't let none of that stuff affect you because I am the president of this house. So if each family had a president of their house, they don't have to worry about the outside elements, the outside forces. Just hold your own castle intact. And you don't have to worry about Veronica, has anybody in any white office or mayor's office ever given you a pair of shoes or bought groceries or took you to school and bought you a car?
No.
Your daddy did it. Okay. So when your daddy does that, that's all you need to listen to. So
right. See, and today's kids, I mean, we could get
sadly,
caught up in all the
your
politics.
circumstance, Lenny, there's so many kids out there without daddy.
I know, but you can adopt a daddy. That's why we
right. But see,
it takes a village.
Yes, it takes a village. That's exactly my point. And we can't get caught up in the politics of it because as an adult, yes. But for the next generation, for those kids who are in school, they have to know that they can step out of that box and move forward and believe in themselves. You know, and we're here to
I would say the
them.
politics that Lenny's dad was saying to avoid is drastically different than the, quote, politics of today. Things are so different and so it's uncharted water and
well, I think also the internet has taken that too to a new level.
I'm afraid hat on today.
No, I don't want to hear that. Take that hat off. Take that hat off.
All right. There it is.
I'm a total optimist. I'm an optimist, and I believe that the glass is half full all the time. We can pursue. We can move forward. We can make that difference. And I will talk about politics all day long, but I don't want to because that will be exhausting.
I don't either, but it seems to come up when I read the paper. You know, when I
don't read it.
You're a paper reader. Put it down. You know,
I am still a paper reader. I'm a dinosaur. You should see me on the computer. I'll throw one against the wall every 15 minutes on a bed.
Ralph, leave the newspaper alone. Read the funny pages in the sports. You'll be fine. Now, look what they're trying to do. Raúl, por favor.
Raúl, por favor.
Raúl, no, it was...
I have to...
Go ahead.
Wasn't it Raúl?
Raúl,
It was at one time. Ralph, in my Spanish learning days, or day, or moment, if you want to call it that, I was Raúl. And I would say things Raúl. Like, I would say in class, no comprende. And everybody would laugh. I'd just say it in such a way, everybody would laugh, and the teacher would say, Alicia, take him down to the dean. And every day she'd have to escort me. I'd have to have a note on my mother. Well, but I wish I had learned.
Right. I have to cut this. I have to cut this short because I've got to run to another meeting, and I apologize. But I just want to say, please, for everyone who's listening, the Latino College Expo at the Quiet Cannon in Montebello, Saturday, October 14th from 9 to 3. Come on down. It's free admission. We're giving scholarships. There's over 50 universities and workshops that will be there to help you how to find money for college. We're talking about DACA and the DREAM Act and the topic of today, as well as booming careers. So we're there for you. You don't have to be Latino to come. Everybody is welcome. So this Saturday, I hope to see everybody there. And thank you so much for allowing me this time.
Okay,
Lenny,
and we'll see you up in Oakland in February.
In Oakland, absolutely.
You said it. Well, that's not till next year. It's just a few more months.
February 17th.
We're in October.
It's February. No. Listen,
February
it's my
17th.
birthday. It's on
February
February
17th.
It's my birthday. I'm going to be celebrating in Oakland on my birthday, so we'll have to make it big.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind
big party.
Nice.
Yes, sir. And Ralph, I'm going to throw this in.
So Raul,
this gets Ralph off the island of Alameda.
Right. All right.
Back to the Raul days.
One last thing. She looks like J-Lo. She looks like J-Lo, folks.
Look at you. I'm going to go get a face before February of next year.
Lenny.
Ciao. Grazie.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for appearing. Lenny, we'll talk same time tomorrow. And I put these all together at the end of the week. I have a week with Lenny Randle. You cheered me up this morning. I took that cap right off. I am positive.
Raúl, muchas gracias, pero diferente persona internacional, latina, americana.
Leonardo, your tops. That's as good. There you go. See you tomorrow, my friend. Thank you, Veronica. Can't wait to see you in February. Adios, everybody. Hey, I've got Lenny Randle here, Lenny Randle's Hot Corner, and it's a day in the wonderful man's life. So what's happening, my man?
I just posted some of the players today. We're training out here on a $4 million facility. We're trying to get speed. We're going to teach these kids. He's a preacher of America. We got Efren. Say who you are.
Diesel.
Your
name?
Isaiah. Say your name.
Gavin.
Say your name.
Taven. Brandon.
Say your name.
Jayla.
Eric.
Aaron.
In the zone today, NFL, Major League Baseball, all sports fans that love to speed. This is what we're about, and this is your future stars you're going to see. Some of these kids are rough between 11 years old and 16 years old, and they've already been offered scholarships to high school, and they're offered scholarships to college. We're teaching 3-6 speed for baseball to run to first. We're teaching 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4. Now I'm going to explain why. Because we're modifying. We're not doing 40s. We're doing some of them. We're doing 30s, and some of them we're doing 40s. Some of these kids are like 6'4", 6'2", 6'1", 5'8", and the average weight is 185. And these are middle school kids. Okay.
Where are you, Lenny? What state are you in and what city?
Right now we're in the state of California. We're in the city of Temecula, Marietta, which is the Inland Empire by Riverside. And this area is the homes of Bonds, Dusty Baker, Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonds, Reggie Miller, Cheryl Miller. This is the residence of the Ball brothers area as well. And we're wearing a lot of the product that makes them faster. When you see the visual, I posted it today on my site. You'll see where we are. You'll see the turf. I'm also, hopefully, I have a film. We're filming this. And if you could right now, I'd somehow try to get you a visual in your phone. If you wanted me to do that, I could get you a visual so people could see. I got a clone-looking David Beckham here right now doing drills.
Wow.
And this kid, a clone to the T, and he's catching with one hand. How old are you? How old is he? Gavin, how old is he? Right quick. Gavin. Eric. Brad, how old is Gavin? Aaron, how old are you? 13, and swag like Beckham already. Clone.
Lenny, we talked about this the other day a little bit. How do you teach speed? We
teach speed with drills and the abs. We work on the core. When we do 120, 150, or 400 core drills, they're done in 2 hours. And then we start doing the running, the hitting, the pitching, and all that kind of stuff, and catching. We work on cross sports. We're not just doing football, baseball, basketball. We're teaching catching and speed. Speed's rule in any. I don't care if you're dribbling in basketball. If you're dribbling like Irving or Magic or LeBron or Kobe, doesn't matter. Speed is speed. Once you learn the core muscles and learn how we can enhance them, I don't care if we had Elijah Penny, who's 6'3", and he's with the Cardinals. Came to us, and we took him from a 5 flat, 4'9" to a 4'3", 4'4", 4'6", consistently 4'4". And now he's 208. He was 280 pounds. Now he's 240, and he's a running back for the Cardinals. And his brother is up for the Heisman, Ahmad Penny, who's at San Diego State University. Now that kid is up with, special teams, punt returns. He's averaging 25, 30 yards per touch now. That's just special team. His all-purpose yards are going to be 1,000, 2,000 yards every season. He played with my nephew as well, Chase Price, who was a San Diego State University record holder. They had 2 backs last year, if you guys followed it, that got over 1,500 yards. Nobody does that anymore. 2 backs, same backfield, with that kind of speed, running 4.4s, 4.5s. One guy gets tired, the other guy goes in, boom, he cracks 40 yards. Boom, he cracks 30 yards. You can't touch speed on the corner. You can't touch speed if you pop it middle outside. If you want tackles, if you're doing football, baseball, basketball, if you're a base stealer, Tyus played baseball like Kirby Puckett, Edney, and Chase Price played like Kirby Puckett. But they chose to do.
Ask you this. Can you increase first step quickness?
We do that in about 3 minutes. First step quickness is a guy that, most guys don't watch this. When you see 2 feet together and you say on your march, get set, go, and you're just standing straight, 2 toes facing forward, what foot's going to go back first, the right or the left? Base stealing, I was taught by Maury Wills, Lou Brock, and some of the greatest base stealers.
You cross over.
You cross over. If it's baseball, you're stealing, you're crossing over that left foot over the right foot. That first step. Some guys don't do the left foot over the right foot. Some guys take a short step with the right foot out to go steal, and they take a short little quick. That's not a full step.
Like
a little hop, but you're cheating yourself. Take the full crossover step, and you're ahead. 13 steps you sliding in baseball. In football, it's all about 10 yards. It's a 10-yard game.
And just to
it's a
clarify
5-yard game.
Something we talked about last week, what do you think about sliding into first base under normal circumstances? Not when you have to avoid a tag, this, that, and the other thing. But do you think it increases or decreases your speed across the tape, so to speak?
I'm basing it on running style. If you're a forward runner and you're leaning like Ricky Henderson, or you're leaning like Lindor, or you're running like A-Rod, who's not a speedster, if you were Jeter, probably didn't do it, only just to avoid a tag. If you're doing a butt on the line, it's 2 or 3 inches off the line, and you want to avoid John Mattingly tagging you, or you want to avoid Bellinger tagging you, then you'll do a hook slide or fadeaway slide or head first slide on a bunt to avoid a tag. But a normal run, you run through the bag. You're taught to run through the bag. What I'm seeing like now, Ralph, is guys running and taking that last step and jamming their knee into the bag. It ruined Dave Parker's week, 2 weeks, and a couple of guys that ran and jammed into the bag instead of just running normal through the bag like a sprinter. When you run like a sprinter head first and go, it depends on the guy. Some guys, I don't recommend it because it might take away your hitting hands from the bat, having bat control. It might mess with your fingers.
All right, Lenny, let me ask you this. If I say the words, keep your head in the game, what does that imply to you? What would you say, keep your head in the game? Give me some tips on how to do it if I were a kid playing defense, for instance, in baseball. Keep your head in the game. What is it?
It's kind of simple. I played all three sports. So I would always go, okay, like right now, Kai just got hit in the head. He just got hit in the head. We got it on video. And everybody's grabbing their mouth because he's not paying attention. And we say heads up. Or we say, what was that pitch? He missed that pitch. And the guys next to him going, oh, I was talking. I missed the pitch. At my era, it was a buck fried or a burger and some fries. It was a fry. Man, you missed that pitch? Pay attention to the game. So baseball has a little rule of pay attention to the game. Be a student of the game. Some guys now, they got selfies on the bench, so they got cameras, so they're distracted, or they get an email or text to bring home groceries. You know, it's changed now. We didn't have all those distractions. We in football and baseball and basketball have a little code. You know, if you're studying the game, you watch your teammate, because your teammate asks you, how was my swing? You know, did I swing up? Did I pull my head off the ball? You know, what did I do? And the guy can fake you out and go, oh no, it was a good swing. Well, why did you miss the ball? And why did you foul off the pitch? He's really not paying attention. So you got to have a dedicated teammate who's watching you and you're watching him, and you're helping each other being students of the game. Same thing in football. If I'm running a pattern down and out, and I want to do a back shoulder catch, now most DBs can't adjust to a back shoulder catch unless you have great hips. If you have great hips, you're like Deion, you're like Patterson. You could intercept the ball because you have the complete ball and body control, and you have great hands. Those kind of athletes can be taught. And the athletes that don't have those skills, you could be taught. So if you do something every day, like Ralph, you wake up every day and brush your, pardon? We teach hands by catching. We taught, Frank Cush used to grab us, and so Coach Brown, and we would catch with one hand, and have our backs to him, and we turn around, and he'd have our eyes closed, and he'd go, turn right and catch the ball. Boom. If you don't, you get hit in the head. If you want to get hit in the head, you want to have great hands. Teach you real quick.
Pretty soon that's what teaching takes.
If you get hit in the head a couple of times, you're going to have some great hands. If not, you have a hard head.
Right. Or that.
We teach different catch. No, seriously though, we'll catch a tennis ball. We'll catch a ping pong ball. We'll throw a sock at somebody. We'll throw beans and rice at people so that they can see. Because this is hand-eye coordination drills that we do in order to enhance the hands. And we also used to do drill I got from Carew and Winfield, a couple of guys. 24/7, we're always squeezing a tennis ball. If you squeezing a tennis ball, are you squeezing a sock or are you squeezing your sister's doll head, and you're working on your forearms and you're working on your hands? When you catch a baseball, football, or basketball, you're going to have strong fingers. You're going to have strong wrists. Right. And then you're taught to keep the two thumbs together to catch a baseball, a basketball, or football. The two thumbs are always going to be together whatever you catch if it's coming right at your face. And then when you're going down low, your two little baby fingers are going to be together down low. Your two baby fingers are going to always be together with two hands to catch a ball. So you got your two baby fingers together always and your two thumbs together always to catch a ball around the world, at your head, at your waist, at your side, at your different area. We're with amazing program where we're teaching hand-eye coordination for all sports, not just baseball, basketball, football. We even have some motocross guys. Yes, Ralph, Tyko. In the zone, we have some motocross guys.
Zone Radio Network with Lenny Randle. Lenny Randle's Hot Corner. Lenny, let me ask you. Well, you tell me what you want to talk about, Lenny. I've been just throwing questions at you. You tell me what you want to get across today.
You can fire away. I can do 20 questions at once, so it doesn't matter whatever. I'm covered it because of all the sports athletes and the educational process that I've been around my whole life. I'm able to talk about sports, music, and entertainment.
Well, then let's go back to some conversations that we've had that really dispelled a lot of things that that I thought, just being a fan, an observer of the game, kind of an outsider looking in, two guys that I thought, Willie Mays and Ted Williams, thought that they were great players, and it's always said, the greater player you are, the harder it is to coach, because you expect, as a player, you expect everybody to be the way they are, the way the superstar is, and they can't identify. You dispelled the notion that Ted Williams and Willie Mays couldn't communicate that's common out there, that those two guys they could do it, but they can't show you how. Watch me do it, that kind of thing. That's not true, is it, about both of those guys?
Not true. I had to, guys, listen, all 55 million people listening, Italy, Germany, Spain, Puerto Rico también, todo mundo. I had the greatest coaches on the planet in the history of baseball. Willie Mays, as my major league coach with the New York Mets, taught me everything about getting dirty on the field, putting it all in. Ted Williams, greatest hitter of all time, manager and hero and legendary San Diego, a war hero, Korean fighter, pilot. Come on, how much better does it get? 400 hitter. I had him as my first major league coach and then manager. The reason why I say coach, because he scouted me at Arizona State University and made me a #1 pick. I didn't even know who the guy was. I just thought he was a war hero. And all of a sudden they go, that's Ted Williams. And then I was lucky enough to get Billy Martin, the greatest manager ever in the history, I think, that should be in the Hall of Fame. The greatest strategic manager, fundamentalist, butt squeeze play, most exciting. We miss that right now. Everybody's going long ball. Billy would have beat the shift. Ted Williams would have beat the shift. Guys need to go back to bunting, hitting, running, and stealing. You steal a base, he's spun on, he's still second, he's still third. That'll change the shift. You got a third baseman now playing shortstop? Give me a break already. Help me, Jesus. Joe Torre, my next manager. How lucky do I get? 4 World Series, 230 hits. I had him as a manager and a coach and a friend and a teammate. And Tom Seaver, God help me. And then I could keep going. Then Kuzman and Fergie Jenkins won 31, 40, 50 games. How much better does that get? And we're traveling the world now in Italy and Spain, and we're still teaching kids and around the world how to do it. And Sosa.
Okay, Lenny, getting back to having a teammate that's got your back, that you take care of him, watch his swing, he takes care of you, watches your swing. Who is you've had 600 some odd teammates. Who is the guy, who was your man, who took care of you?
I would watch Mark Hargrove, and I were close because I was first and second hitter, and also I had Toby Harrah as a teammate, and we'd help each other out. And I'd have Burroughs, but Jeff didn't always pay attention, so I had to drop him and switch to Hargrove or Nelson. You know, there was always somebody. And then sometimes I would go to Nellie Fox, because Nellie Fox is, same stature as me. He liked to bunt, and he'd go do like Aparicio. So I had some of the greatest teachers throughout my career. Then I had Ed Kranepool and Phil Cavaretta. Phil Cavaretta was a batting coach for us, and he would say, Lenny, you got to calm down. You got to calm down. Even though somebody else like Tim Foley might be going, hey, no, I think you pulled your head. And I go, Tim, I did not pull my head. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. I'm going to go to Phil Cavaretta.
Tim Foley, now he came from Montreal to the Mets and was fiery as hell, was he not?
He was a gamer. We called him gamer. You can call him fiery, you can call him gamer, or you can call him, attitude. It depends on who's coaching. But I love the guy. Felix Milan, and I love his energy. When you got a guy that has passion and wants to win, what does that tell you, America? What does that tell you, world? What does that tell you, Europe? He cares. I don't want a guy to sleep.
Yeah, well, Tim wasn't that. One of my favorite all-time Mets. And, of course, you put together your best year as a New York Met third baseman. Hit over 300. You attribute it to Willie's coaching, don't you?
I attribute a lot to Willie. But the thing about it, before Willie's coaching, I had Joe Torre as a teammate, and he was playing third and first, and he was a catcher. And then I'd listen to him and Grody, and they played with some of the greatest players of all time, Clendenin and Tommy Agee. And they would pick their brains and go wild transfers over to Lenny. And I would go, okay, so what is it? He says, well, talk to Agee about base stealing, or talk to Clendenin about hitting for an average. And these are guys that they were legendary men. And then when I was with Texas Rangers, there was really no legends other than what Billy brought in. He brought in Mickey Mantle in the clubhouse every day. So how could I not want to pick Mickey Mantle's brain and Joe DiMaggio? I said, what am I going to do to go meet Hank Aaron? And they go, Lenny, just go over there. I walked in the locker room, and Hank goes, how you doing, kid? And I went, I've always admired you. You remind me of my dad. You look like my dad. What keeps you grounded, man? How do you deal with all this? And he goes, man, I just give it to God and the Lord, and when I don't do that, I go fishing.
Keeping it nice and simple.
Keep it simple.
A lot of ball players go fishing. One of my dear friend, Campy Campaneris, the late Dr. Pearson, who was the team doctor for the A's and the Cubs back in the day in spring training. And he was Campy's great friend, and they come up north to fish up this area, and I'd hang with them. A lot of ball players, Jimmy Pearsall. Why is it that fishing is such a major pastime in baseball players?
Once you find out your niche in the game, you got to find out what relaxes you, what makes your mind go away from everything, what makes you tranquil, what makes your energy level better. So you find out by being calm and doing something is a lot better than being anxious and having anxiety and getting all stressed out and jittery. So you learn to be calm fishing. Fishing is patience. You're going to throw a rod out there just like a pitcher's going to throw out a pitch. You're not going to swing at the first pitch. You're going to test it. You're going to throw out the rod. You're going to throw out the bait. You're not going to catch the first fish. It's going to take you 20 minutes. So be patient. So hitting, it might take 2 pitches. It might take, you see the fastball, then you see the curve, and then you relax and go, now I've seen everything. He's only got 2 pitches. Now, unless he's Houdini, it teaches you to relax.
Instinctively, if it's the first pitch and it's a hanging curveball, and will your eyes light up instinctively and go for that pitch? That's pretty hard. When it comes down to it, does it just come down to mono, pitch? You don't think about those things when the pitch is coming in.
We were taught there's no human being outside a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. There's no human being that can get you out because they're going to be 90, 95, 96. When you grow up with that and you practice hitting that 80 swings a day, we did 80 swings a day. Some guys do 40. I did 80 swings a day. Out of 80 swings a day, I'm going to see a 70-mile-an-hour, 80-mile-an-hour, 90-mile-an-hour, 95-mile-an-hour pitch. No one consistently throws 100 miles an hour. I mean, every pitch 100 miles an hour. Only Chapman, and sometimes he'll drop to 95, 99 with the Yankees. There weren't that many pitchers that flamethrower. So the human element of it is they're all human. They're not Superman. You can hit them because they got to get you out with their best pitch. And then if you don't, then you're getting yourself out because you haven't prepared for their best pitch. Might be a spitter, a slider, a curve, whatever it is. Pitchers cheat. They all do. So be ready for their best pitch. And if their best pitch sinks, then you move up in the box and get it before it sinks. If it's a curve, you move up in the box before it breaks. If it's a fastball, you get straddle the plate or get deep. It depends on how you adjust. You adjust to who's ever pitching. If a guy's throwing pus, you move up because it's like playing ping pong. If he's throwing 80, 85, 88, I mean, you got smart pitchers like Tommy John, you got Kershaw, who use finesse, and they try to outthink you. But when you can hit, it doesn't matter what they throw because you've already prepared. You've seen their video. You've seen their tapes. You prepared. You watched them in BP. You watched them in spring training. So you can sit there in the batter's box or you can sit there in the dugout and time them with your hands. I see guys in the outfield timing the relief pitcher coming in next with their hands. I've seen Foster do it. I've seen guys looking at the Shadow Kingman. I've seen Pew do it. I've seen Cespedes do it. Guys do things. They have idiosyncrasies, so they could just see. The game is defense. You're going to get defense, and you're going to get four at bats. So you get 2 hits or 1 hit or 2 hits a game. You have contributed to your team wholeheartedly because nobody wants to strike out. Now, in our era, no one wants to strike out. Today, they don't care about striking out. I used to cry if I struck out. I cried a lot. I didn't like it. It's like, oh man, all right, I'd rather put the ball in play, make something happen, make some excitement, get on base anywhere I can with 2 strikes, and then create drama and hell on the bases. That's how we were raised to play. Give up a bunt, sacrifice, create chaos. Today's guys, they'll take a third strike. I don't understand. They go, well, I'm setting him up for the next at bat. No, you sucked. You missed the pitch. You didn't contribute. You're going to get 3 more shots or 2 more shots. Or you're going to build up that guy's confidence that he can get you out.
Have you been watching the playoffs this past week?
I've watched 17 playoffs. Germany, Spain, Chile, Puerto Rico, and America. I'm in it. I'm in the zone. I'm comfortably zoned in the world of sports.
Lenny, you're terrific. We'll be back tomorrow, same place, same bat channel. And you're an inspiration. Every day you're up, every day you're doing something exciting, you're influencing lives, and you're making a difference, Lenny.
I have a mom that I want you to meet real quick. Her son's out here. She just happened to show up.
I did.
Say her name.
Christie Ferguson.
Christie Ferguson. Your son's name is?
Jabari.
Jabari is a guy that looks like Judd Aaron, okay, with the Yankees, okay? I kid you not. He has that Jeter appeal, and he's got the hair like, oh God. Remember Schwarzenegger and the guy that did the soap commercial, the macho guy, you know, with the, oh, you know what I'm thinking of? You know, all the women had a poster of him. Fabio. Remember Fabio? Okay. I got Fabio out here catching passes, bro.
Does Fabio want to be a baseball player or a football player?
Football.
You're on national radio.
Okay. All right.
And Mom wants you to be a great student as well.
He is definitely going to be a great student. 4.0.
That comes first.
Yes, it does.
Now her other son.
Nice. It comes first in Lenny's mind, and Lenny teaches and coaches sports, but he knows that the brain has to come first, the intellect, because that's what's going to take you there. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Amazing thing, Ralph, is our other son, who's with ninth grader playing varsity quarterback. He's about 6'2" or 6'4", about 210, 215. He's already gotten like 20 offers to go to college, and he's only in the ninth grade.
Left-handed quarterback.
Wow. Very
Okay,
nice.
so you can be a starting quarterback in high school in the ninth grade.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Work hard.
Work hard. If you go to YouTube, you can see his video on
Trillion Harris.
Trillion Harris on YouTube. You can see him throwing some passes, and he's definitely the Wildcat. And make sure you put him on your page.
I live up in Northern California. When I think of left-handed quarterbacks, there's Kenny Stabler out there who needs to be put in the Hall of Fame. So,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
What about Steve Young? Come on. Steve Young. How about Steve Young?
Okay.
Remember Steve Young? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. You too, big guy.
Thank you.
Be good. Thanks, Lenny. See you tomorrow.
Shalom.
Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you as well.
All right. Good luck to your sons. Keep them in school.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jabari.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I love your voice on the air.
Yeah, he's radio ready. Yeah, he's radio broadcasting ready.
Absolutely. Yeah. Please take my place. Hurry up. Retire me.
Ralph, let me tell you something, Ralph. This guy talks so much he talks in his sleep.
Yes, sir.
He has an A rating.
Well, tell him he doesn't have to worry until he gets answers. Until he starts getting answers.
You can take his job. He'll be a ball player broadcaster.
Beautiful.
All right.
All right, be well, everybody
Take
out
care.
there.
Well.
Lenny will be back tomorrow, and so will I. Lenny Randle's Hot Corner, Comfortably Zoned Radio Network.
Yeah! I knew you was going to get it.
I'm Ralph Tyko, Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. I'm back with Lenny Randle on Lenny's Hot Corner. How are you, sir?
Yeah. I'm going to let Lloyd tell you how blessed we are. We were talking about daddy daycare, how many dads, grandpas, super grandpas, grandpas got to pick up the kids, drop them off, and loving it because the kids don't want to raise the kids anymore.
Well, you called the right number. In a previous lifetime, it seems, my kid is 28, and I was the stay-at-home dad for his first 5 years. His mother, the late Diane Satin, was a professor and a career person. I was a hippie and a enjoyer of life. We breeded and combined our talents for the wonderful Philip Satin Tyko. And
I was gonna say, then he woke up one day and found himself at Woodstock, huh?
Well, no, it wasn't that long ago. I might have been.
Wait a minute. That was the prime of my life. What does that make me?
It makes me what it makes me. Not long,
old.
Not old. Aged. Well aged. How about that?
Yeah, my oldest daughter is almost 40 or is 40 years old. And, you know what, I was telling Lenny, I still feel like 21. So, you know, what can I do? I don't like to be reminded of the age.
Stop being, you can stop being delusional.
No, that's not delusional. Lenny was telling me that, I took a pill because my birthday just passed, so I'm aging backwards.
Yeah.
So I don't see. What is it? The 61, the new 30 or something like that?
Yeah, that's it. Brad Pitt started it with him and Angelina Jolie with that pill in that movie.
Well, yeah, and then I got great grandkids that constantly remind me that, you know, I've been through another generation of life, so that's 3 generations I'm looking at.
You guys don't know this, but a lot of players, Ralph, we used to raise, like I raised Catfish Hunter's kids in the clubhouse, Ken Griffey Jr. kid in the clubhouse, Barry Bonds in the clubhouse, and I know you guys got daycare going on at your family. I just happened to be in the area, Ralph. I'm going to drop off these 3 kids for 2 weeks.
Well, you know what's really sad?
It is the most rewarding job. Parenthood is the most stressful, all that stuff.
It keeps you young. You guys
Arizona.
Arizona's our therapy, Ralph.
Yeah, it's calling me. You know, it's sad when you raise so many kids, grandkids, great grandkids, that you find a spot on this earth, and then you just can't wait to get back there. Buckeye's mine. I waved to Lenny passing by the last time we did a gig and said, well, you know, I'll meet you down over in Phoenix. And I said, yeah, okay, I'm going to rest here for a while. I'll see you in Phoenix tomorrow.
Lloyd, may I have an introduction from Lenny, because I know you only by your first name, and we did this.
Oh, sure.
Who are you?
Yeah, Lloyd is the descendant cousin of Jennifer Lopez and George Lopez, and they all dropped each other off. He went in music, they went in comedy, and she went into modeling and then dancing, and now Lloyd stayed in Daddy Daycare Music and has a Conspire group, which is the top jazz group on Billboard. And musically, he's a great saxophone player across America.
Whoa. And I'm a ne'er-do-well. Nice to meet you, sir.
And he plays with Kenny G, and he can tell you all the guys. See, he's the kind of guy that Lloyd gets, Ralph, he gets free saxophones because he's like high maintenance now. You know, he's big time.
Hey, I was going to tell you, I just got a brand new sax the other day, an endorsed one. It's all silver. You'll see it, Lenny, at the next gig. But interesting thing is that, you know, I run into a lot of people. Yesterday I had a conversation on the phone. I don't know if these names mean anything to you, but I was talking with Azar Lawrence. He used to play with Miles Davis. He played with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, his resume goes a mile long. They're re-releasing his 3 albums on vinyl again. I mean, this guy is a monster. And if you look at his YouTube channel or anything with the people he's played with, I mean, if you play with Miles Davis and you're as good as him, you're ranking up there with the top people. Yeah, he's going to do a project with me in the studio now. We're supposed to meet next week. Like I said, I was talking to him last night. And the funny thing about saxophone players, well, when you talk to them, it's almost like you're talking behind a track because they're playing their horn and they'll say, hey, listen to this. I've been working on this. And all of a sudden you're listening to a song for 5 minutes and commenting on what he can do to change it and stuff. And that's what's good about, you know, musicians that are humble but are great because, you know, they love to hear the input from somebody else to see if maybe you have a different idea to add to it. And that's kind of the way, you know, the top guys in music are.
Well, let me just take a moment in this free thought thing we've got to pay homage to a fellow who passed away the other day, Playboy magazine, Hugh Hefner. And I want to pay homage to him right now because he gave us the Playboy All-Star Jazz Band.
Yes, he did.
You guys remember that?
We went to the Playboy Jazz Festival in Monterey and around the country. Yeah, those are awesome. And his clubs.
and his clubs. But I'll tell you, he had the articles. Articles were better than the pictures.
Oh, wow.
When I was a kid. They really were. We had John Updike, Woody Allen, Gene Shepard, the cartoons. It was just a terrific magazine, well edited. But my point is, they had this article where in caricature, they would have an all-star team, literally, of jazz musicians. And one of those folks who made the all-star team when I was a kid was, I can't even think of his name. I'll tell another story. He was a drummer, a great drummer.
Max Roach.
No, his name.
No, you're not talking about Buddy Rich or any of those, are you?
No, I'm not. I remember that. But this guy lived in my uncle's building, and he had 2 greyhound dogs. And we'd go in the elevator. I'm 16, and the elevator smelled like it was Columbia. It smelled
wow.
When he was in the elevator, and the elevator could pick me up, and I'm 16 years old. He had the shades on, and we'd nod at each other. And we'd smile at each other, and that was my introduction to adulthood. And I'll think of his name in a minute. But my point is, Nat Hentoff put that together. And Nat Hentoff was a great jazz critic. And I think he might have passed away within the past year or so as well. We're losing all our heroes. It's very sad. You mentioned getting older, Lloyd, almost in a joking way. Mortality is winning, and it sucks.
I kind of think some people just leave early because they're tired. Like Elvis is hiding somewhere in the Bahamas, and Michael Jackson's in Aruba, and Hugh Hefner probably got tired, him and Tupac and Biggie, and they're probably somewhere in the Caruso. Some island, just hiding out. I don't want to pay more taxes. I don't want to pay more concerts. I'm tired of people. I need a break.
But you know what? Not to interrupt you, but on a serious note, you know, there's one thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is that the new generation of musicians that are, you know, phenoms or phenomenal, they're not passing that on anymore. You know as well as I do that, you know, government cuts have stopped music programs in schools. So, you know, kids are not exposed to the arts. Go ahead, I'm sorry?
All the art. I was going to say music, art, everything.
Yeah.
Study programs.
Yeah. So what's happening is kids are no longer exposed to that, and the art is dying. If you notice, you have all kinds of awards. You got country music awards, you got hip hop awards, you've got everything. But what you don't see is you don't see jazz awards. Never. And all music has been sampled from jazz musicians. Jeff Lober is one of the most sampled hip hop guys around. I mean, he's a jazz artist, but the hip hop guys always sample his music because he's such a phenomenal player. But, you know, I don't see Jeff Lober out there anymore, you know, doing anything. The talent has to be passed on somehow. How do you pass it on? You know, now I know Walter Beasley, who's a phenomenal saxophone player. He's even online giving music lessons. You'll see him, you know, say, well, here's a little skill to try, a little exercise. And he's trying to pass on his talent to somebody else because he's a phenomenal player. But, you know, we don't have enough of that. More of the older guys, you know, that are passing away, and they're taking that talent to the grave with them rather than pass it on. It's the same thing, you know, if we were talking sports, you know, how do the kids do it? It's passed on by like what Lenny does, you know, and other guys that feel that, you know.
Before I ask you, Lloyd, how you met Lenny, I just want to elaborate on what you just said. How do you pass on your saxophone skills, and have you been an influence on young people? I'm sure you have, but can you name some people who you've collaborated with or whose lives you've affected in any way I mean, I wouldn't know their names, but my audience might perhaps.
Yeah. You know, you probably won't know their names because the list is a mile long. What I did was I built a studio in my home and I opened it up to kids for free so that they could come in, learn engineering, learn video production, and I helped them. I showed them how it's done. You know, my son was with me. I taught him the craft, and he would go with me to Lenny's events, and he would film and be an engineer, do whatever it takes, you know. And he grew up now. He's 38 years old, and he can be a prime engineer anywhere. He does a live event. We did a Newport Jazz Festival knockoff thing over at Central Park it's called Central Park in Newport Beach, and he did all the live sound for everybody there, and it was a phenomenal outcome. It really sounded great, everything, but that was from everything that I had taught him and passed down. And we bring the guys with us. What I used to do is host shows, talent shows, and let them get out there, and, you know, those who wanted to participate would do it kind of like America's Got Talent type of thing. And we would bring them in, and I have all the live sound equipment, you know, and I donated all that time. And Lenny can tell you, there's a lot of rappers that have been through and stuff, yeah. But I have kids that call me all the time because, you know, they respect what I do. They come over and, you know, just if it's my birthday, they're all here piled around because of, you know, the things. And I'm not trying to blow my horn because I don't like to do that. But what I am saying is that
you're just in the midst of a life well spent.
And a lot of these guys, and I got to say, a lot of these guys were troubled kids. And they thank me for turning their life around because rather than being in jail, now they're doing other things. Some didn't go to music. Some learned how to be good parents. You know, now they're responsible fathers taking care of their kids and doing what they should do. Before, when I met them, they were carrying guns. So, you know, some of them were in prison and all that. I mean, but, you know, I always relate back to a Bible verse, and it's, how are they going to know unless you go out and you talk to them? You know, how can you reach them unless you go out there to meet them? It's kind of the old saying, you know, you got to get out there where the rubber meets the road. You know, otherwise these kids are, you know, we're putting them into a society that all we're doing is they're being influenced by drugs, you know, crime and everything else. Somebody's got to go out there and pull them out and save them, pull them from, you know, the fire out there and give them another reason to live, you know, and music is one of those ways. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're a musician. You know, you can be an engineer. You can learn videography. You can even learn to be a good gaffer, a guy that just a helper in this industry. Even if you're a good helper, a crane guy or something like that, you're going to make good money. You're going to have a career, and you can work your way up from there. But you got to start somewhere. Somebody's got to show you because they can't learn by themselves and it's not available in school. So you got to pay to do it. And these kids don't have the money. Their families don't have the money. So somebody has got to reach out. And that's, that goes in any kind of field, in sports, music, I don't care, whatever trade you're in. You take on it. Do you remember the old days where somebody would take, I think it was in England, I used to watch these movies where they would take on an apprentice and they would go to these orphanages and grab a kid and he would live with them and they would teach him the craft, whatever craft it was, and they would become an apprentice. But, that mentality should be with everybody. How else are the kids ever going to learn if we don't teach them? If we, the older guys, don't pass on our craft to somebody else, we'll just die with it, and so will the craft.
Amazing thing about Ralph is Lloyd was a military guy. Vietnam, music, sports, entertainment, and the Lakers. So he has a well-rounded genre. And I met him through camp.
He remembers people faking other people out of the popcorn machine at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chickern.
Yeah.
Chickern. So that's what I think of when I think of the Lakers back in those days. How did you guys get together? How did you guys first meet?
It was a Ford kart show in San Bernardino. I was a guest speaker and doing a baseball clinic and music. And I do ball player, songs, kingdom, sports and entertainment. That's kind of in my craft. And I met Lloyd because he was a musician. I go, I'm going to do a song. Can you pick this up? And he goes, dude, I got this. But first, we got to get in the Ford, and we were going to race in this guy. I can't, he was a known racer like Tom Petty or somebody like that. I can't remember his name. And he got us in the car. And Lloyd goes, Lenny, you get in the back. It's a convertible, and I'm going to film it with my video camera, and then I'm going to put music to it. And I'm thinking, this guy's crazy. I'm going to sit in the back of a car, and he's going to film it, and the guy's going 150 miles an hour? Are you serious? And I'm sitting on the hump, on the hood? And I did it.
The thing that was funny about it, he was racing all around, but what Lenny didn't expect, this guy hit a ramp and put the car on two wheels, and we still have video of that, where he's sitting there hanging on for dear life, and this guy's maneuvering his car around, because he was a stunt driver. That's what he did.
I didn't know that.
Wow. Yeah, he did all kinds of stunts with his car. And I looked to my brother, because my brother was there at the time. I said, does he know he's doing that? What's he supposed to do next? And boy, it was just one crazy stunt after another. And when I say crazy, I didn't believe a car could, ride on two wheels sideways and he's driving it all around, and it's just ridiculous, especially at the rate of speed he was going.
Ralph, no seatbelts. Am I an idiot or what?
You live to tell about it. You're not an idiot.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the things we've done. And not only that, Lloyd, as a jazz musician and an artist and a major videographer, got on a plane once, right? And the guy's going upside down. Lloyd goes, I'll get on the wing, strap me in. I'm a Green Beret guy. I'll be all right. I'll film it. Upside down. The guy's on the wing of a plane, about 10,000 feet in the air, and I'm going, this guy's on serious medication.
Hey, listen, guys, it was Elvin Jones, the late Elvin Jones, the drummer I was talking
about.
about.
Okay, yeah.
He was.
Elvin Jones, wow. Yeah.
And I wanted to say, it wasn't two Dobermans. It was a Doberman on the right side and a beautiful blonde on the left side. And
oh my goodness!
Wow.
Yes, and this was consistent. He always had a smile on his face, and he always worked, and it was pretty cool getting to know him a little bit in my early years.
You're in the San Francisco, Palo Alto, Billy Graham, Sly and the Family Stone, Cal Jader, when music was booming, man. I mean, Quincy Jones, all those guys were coming through there. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, Jimi Hendrix. I moved to California in 1966. I was 20 in the Air Force, stationed at Travis, which was between Sacramento and San Francisco, and they put a list on the bulletin board of all the places every day that you couldn't go to. There were
yeah, right. That was like saying go to it.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I responded exactly in that kind. Thanks. I don't have to talk to anybody and find out.
Yeah, man. All those places. I remember that in college and ROTC. You guys know you don't want to go in this bar. You don't want to go in this zone. You can't go here. No, like,
thank you.
Why not? You have to find out why. You want to know why. They never tell you why.
No. So you have to experience, and that's true in life. You have to put yourself in a position where you can make a judgment what fits your sensibilities and what doesn't, what you like, what you don't. But you can't go by hearsay and other people's fears and crazy stuff. You have to experience.
Crazy thing is, I used to find out that the front office was there, and that's why they didn't want us to go, because it was their spot.
Right.
They're smarter than us. Oh, you don't want to go to the Playboy Club. They have fights every day. No, you don't want to. You don't want to see the bunnies running around. They half naked. They dress crazy. You don't want to go there. Don't go there. Go to IHOP. Okay. Yeah. So we had to do that. Disturb. You guys, come on. You didn't hate Ashbury. You had Janis Joplin. You had. I mean, that was the boom in this period ever. I'm thinking, man.
Yeah, the 60s.
Oh, man, the 60s, yeah.
The 60s, and the summer of love, but with that came a lot of change and tension and social stuff. Women discovering
women's right.
Women's right, discovering that they're every bit as capable as men, and more so if you check out the stats.
I remember it well. My mom took over my house.
Men had to adjust to womanhood. I apologize for myself and all men who had a hard time adjusting to the change that that society was going through. There was also the Vietnam thing, which was part, literally.
Oh, God, come on. Billie Jean King, come on, we got the Kennedy, Jacqueline Onassis Kennedy, or whatever you want to call her today. She was like a women's liberal. Jane Fonda, come on, give me a break. We had a great movie.
I don't know how Jane Fonda ever...
Bringing it back to sports, that changed the face of women's sports in America.
Billie Jean King,
Proposition 9, it brought on an awareness of men that a man can get his ass kicked by a woman on a tennis court. How about that? A lot of egos went down the tubes on that one.
I was thinking one day Ronda Rousey would fight Merriweather, and I'm going, nah, I don't know.
No.
maybe Pacquiao, or maybe what's the guy that retired, Sugar Ray Leonard or somebody, or Mr. Promotion Golden Boy. Maybe he'd come out of retirement and fight it just for a promo. You know.
You know, the thing I was thinking is that it's a mindset anyway. And, you know, people have to understand that behind every good, successful man, I don't care what you do, is a good woman. Me and my wife have been married for 43 years. And, you know, I wouldn't even be able to do half of what I did in music without her, because she takes care of all the business end of things. And, you know, she does a lot of the talking for me when I can't, you know, because I'm always playing. Because you got to find some time to hone your craft. So you need somebody right there beside you. She's not a slave, and she's not just a woman. She is my partner. She's my friend, and she's right there with me with everything I do. I mean, Lenny knows my wife. If I say, well, I'm going to New York for a month, she's not gonna, I mean, there's some women that probably couldn't accept that, but she understands that this is the business. You have to go. But of course you got to you've got to live up to your expectations too as a partner. And, I can't be out there, running around and doing all the things I'm not supposed to. I mean, I do what I'm supposed to do, and I get home, and consequently, we have a concrete foundation both in business and our marriage as far as that's concerned. So those are things you have to look at. And yeah, and I don't look at her as, oh, well, she's a woman. No, I look at her as my equal. Without her, she's my best half. So, with her, I can do anything. And that's what I do. Our life is centered around mutual respect. And I think that's the way it has to be. And if you have that, no matter what you do, if you're an athlete, you have that. If you have that trust and that foundation, you can do anything. And then you can be comfortable doing it. And that's the way I feel, because I'm gone every week. Sometimes when I went with Lenny, it was 10 days I was out there, and, I don't have that caller every day and do that. But, sports and, the jobs we do take us on the road. 90% of the time you are on the road. So you have to have somebody that understands that. And in the meantime, she's taking care of kids, they got to go to school. We do the daddy daycare. Lenny will tell you all about that. So, when I'm not there to help her, who's going to do it? She does it by herself with no complaints.
You guys remember Jimmy Carter said, "It's okay to look, fellas. I'm a peanut farmer." But you don't have to touch the peanut. It don't hurt to look. I mean, you learn a lot from President.
Lusting in one's heart. Jimmy Carter, the man that had a relationship with the bunny rabbit at one time.
Yeah.
These are our leaders, our fearless leaders. And it scares the crap out of me, I got to be honest.
They're all only human. Go ahead.
To the time, I want to, podcast is unselfish self-promotion. Let's put it that way. Got going, Lloyd, and in a nutshell, where can people reach you? Where can they reach the daddy daycare thing?
Well, I have a website. It's www.conspirejazz.com.
Okay.
And if you go on there, I have what's called a wall of fame. You'll see Lenny up there. We always do things together, but we've got tons of everybody who I've played with. I mean, just recently, I got a chance to hook up with Marion Meadows over at the NAMM show, which is, to me, he's one of the greatest soprano saxophonists that plays today. I get to meet guys like Gerald Albright, and these are all the top guys. So, and they're all on my page there. You'll see them. So, I've got to rub shoulders and play with a lot of very, very top people, but, you got to remember the music industry is very, very competitive. It's very, very cliquish. And, if you don't get out there and you don't fight for every inch of, like football, you got to fight for every yard. If you don't do it in music, you'll get distracted, you'll get depressed, and you'll quit, which I won't do. I don't believe it.
For every profession out there.
Sure,
Johnny Pitchbuck, who's getting up in the morning and he's a plumber and what have you. He wants to be the best plumber.
Sure.
This, that, and the other thing. And that's why sports, music, it transcends life. And one is a microcosm of the other. And what you guys are doing is terrific. Lenny, we will get together again Tuesday morning. I think we're falling into a thing Tuesday through Fridays. And I put the shows up together. I splice them together, and I put a show up. And I send Lenny the link, and Lenny will get you the link, Lloyd. And I want to ask you if you will be kind enough to come back and keep coming back on a regular basis, because we've got a myriad of things to talk about.
Sure.
Not only is Lloyd going to Palm Springs this weekend, like every weekend, we're going to do a show for some kids down in L.A. to get them a trip over to your place, Ralph, and out to Europe. So that's one of our concerts that's in the making as well. So we'll give you a heads up on that when that transpires. They just gave us a theater to do a show. So we're going to have our czar and Kenny G. Kenny G and I go back when Lloyd was a baby in Seattle. I've known him when he was 16, 17 as a Mariner fan. He was a big time, him and Jeff Lorber and Jeff Frost were big time Mariner fans. They used to drive us nuts for tickets. We thought they had no money. Why would you call me for a ticket? They're only $10.
Hey, before we go, Lenny, I got to mention, you mentioned Ken Griffey Jr.'s kid.
Yeah.
When Ken Griffey was 17, he was playing in Billingham. It was his first stop in pro ball.
Billingham, Washington, right?
Right. Spiderweb was the trainer. And,
wow. Joe Martin.
Here's a memory, right? And I'm the guy with the $5 tops contract. We had him sign it, and we couldn't. It wasn't good unless his dad signed it. So we had a minimum contract to his dad to sign it. He was 17 years old. He had a big smile on his face. The smile really never went away. And
right after he signed that, Ralph, he went to San Bernardino, 88, 89, something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
Across the smog belt to Riverside.
You know, Lloyd has that card, Lloyd Lopez. He has no idea it's $1,000 card. So don't tell him. Don't tell him. I gave him 10 of them in a wrapper. Don't tell him. I'm going to go to his house and have dinner.
Let me tell you, the fellow we had on last week was Troy Percival. I found.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you found some of his cards.
Third copy of that contract. When you talk to Troy.
Oh, wow.
Tell him I've got that third copy of his contract. I was blown away with it. That was so cool.
Well, save it. We'll use it for a show. I'm going to tell him we'll get him a new contract.
Well, you know, before he started doing real well, he was with the Angels, right? Troy Percival?
Right.
Yeah, I got a signed picture because you did a camp with him. Remember, Lenny?
Yeah, I remember. You came.
Yeah, he was doing a signing, and I filmed him. I got a ton of footage of him in doing the meet and greet, and he signed a picture for me. I got it up on the wall in my studio still. That's kind of funny. You said that.
Salmon was down there at that time, and Edmonds.
Adam Kennedy.
The manager of that team was a guy named Tom Kochman.
Wow.
His name out there. He's in the Boston organization now. He's the dad of Casey Kochman, who holds an American League record for fielding. He came up with the Angels as well. So
we need to have a contract reunion, Ralph.
Well,
hey, Lenny, we did a meet and greet and all that over at Just Sports in Orange County. Who was the older guy that was there? His son. They both played professional ball, but his son was a Cy Young Award winner, and he has a batting cage down in Orange County. What was the name of him? I have his picture too.
We have Clyde Wright and his son Jared Wright,
Clyde Wright,
Tom Hall, and Adam Kennedy. That's who we had. All of them.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah.
All at the same time. Yeah. He was Clyde Wright is a heck of a guy, boy. That guy's got a personality.
He's a character. When we do our show, Ralph, we'll have him because he loves telling stories. He's like Gomer Powell of baseball.
Bring him on.
Anyway.
Bring him on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got to get out of here real quick. Can I say something? I just want to say that we were talking about music and all that, and you know, the endorsement I have is through International Woodwinds. Luxor Reese, that guy, I got to say this because you know he has given me horns and he has done so much for me, you know, and I think he would do the same thing for all these kids and stuff too. He's originally out of Australia, and he plays with horn beautiful too. But you know, I got to give a shout out to Luxor Reese and International Woodwinds because they do a lot. And I think if we get kids that get interested through you know sports and music, not everybody can make it in one or the other, but you know we have to make it available to them. We can help them out probably later on down the line, you know, with horns and stuff like that.
Well, we'll have a pre-show and have the kids play and have the horns out.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
great weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday, Lenny, and I'll put all this together. Lloyd, you'll get a link, and thank you very much. Lenny, it's been another fun week.
Never a dull moment. Every day's a weekend, fellas. Every day's your birthday. Happy birthday, world.
Yep, and keep music alive.
And tomorrow's a holiday.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Stay well, guys. Adios, everybody.
You too.
Adios.
Keep on keeping on. Lenny Randle's Hot Corner. How about that? Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. I'm Ralph Tyko, the weak link of it all. Adios, everybody.
Adios, adios.
Bye.
Bye.